Let's talk about the most researched peptides in fertility medicine. Before I go into this, I want to be very clear about two things. First, peptides are not a shortcut. They are advanced targeted cellular support tools, and they work best when the foundation is already in place. Gut health, insulin regulation, cortisol management, thyroid optimization, the mitochondrial basics we've already covered. Peptides are the advanced layer on top of correcting the foundation, not a replacement for it. Second, peptides require physician supervision, always. What I'm sharing here is education, not a protocol. Your specific situation determines what applies to you. A physician who understands peptide therapy and reproductive medicine needs to be part of this conversation. With that framing, here are the four I think are the most relevant to mitochondrial health and fertility. MOTS-c is my favorite one and is genuinely fascinating. MOTS-c is a peptide encoded within mitochondrial DNA itself. We already make it. It is produced by your mitochondria, and its primary function is to activate AMPK, the cellular energy sensor, which regulates mitochondrial biogenesis and metabolic efficiency across the body. What does that mean practically? MOTS-c mimics the metabolic effect of exercise at the mitochondrial level. It improves insulin sensitivity. It reduces oxidative stress. It supports mitochondrial function in metabolically active tissues, including ovarian tissue. For women with insulin resistance, poor mitochondrial function, and low AMH, MOTS-c addresses multiple root causes through a single mitochondrial targeted mechanism. The research is primarily animal and early human, but the mechanism is among the most compelling in the peptide space for reproductive health. SS31. This peptide concentrates specifically in the inner mitochondrial membrane, the exact location where ATP production happens and where oxidative damage accumulates most aggressively. SS31 protects the mitochondrial membrane integrity, reduces reactive oxygen species at the source, and improves mitochondrial energy output in aged and damaged cells. There's direct research on SS31 and oocyte quality. Studies in aged animal models showed that SS31 treatment improves oocyte mitochondrial function, reduces chromosomal abnormality rates in eggs, and improves embryo development competence. For women whose embryos aren't developing and whose IVF cycles keep failing, this is a mechanism worth understanding and talking to your practitioner about. Again, only in animal studies, not human quite yet. Epithalin. This is a tetrapeptide that works primarily through the telomere support and the pineal gland restoration. Telomere length is directly linked to cellular aging, including ovarian aging. Epithalin has been shown in research to activate telomerase, the enzyme that maintains telomere length, slowing cellular aging at the chromosomal level. But the piece I find most clinically interesting in the fertility context is the pineal connection. Epithalin restores melatonin production from the pineal gland. And melatonin, most people think of it as the sleep hormone, but it's actually one of the most potent mitochondrial antioxidants in human biology. There is direct research on melatonin and oocyte quality, follicular fluid melatonin levels, and ovarian aging. Restoring pineal function through epithalin is restoring the body's own mitochondrial antioxidant production. And lastly, BPC-157. BPC is perhaps one of the most broadly researched peptides in the regenerative medicine space. Its primary mechanisms are anti-inflammatory, tissue healing, and angiogenic, meaning it supports blood vessel formation and improves blood flow to target tissues. In the context of mitochondrial health and fertility, BPC-157 is relevant because chronic inflammation is one of the primary drivers of mitochondrial dysfunction. Inflammatory cytokines directly impair mitochondrial membrane integrity and ATP production. By reducing the systemic inflammatory load, BPC-157 creates an environment where mitochondrial function can be restored and maintained. It is the anti-inflammatory foundation that makes everything else work better. It also heals the gut lining, which is something I've mentioned many times that causes issues with absorption and processing of everything that we're eating. These are not magic. They're not shortcuts. They're targeted tools with specific mechanisms that address specific dysfunctions. When those dysfunctions have been properly identified and when the foundation has been built to support them, they work incredibly well. If you're working with a physician who understands root cause medicine and peptide therapy, this conversation is worth having. If not, that might be where to start. As always, this content is educational only. It is not medical advice. Your specific situation requires a physician who can see your full picture, because the full picture is where the answers actually live.